AFTV Julian, we've just won the second game in the Dubai Cup. It is Julian. What would you say about that?
That we won the second game. We didn't only win the second game, we won the penalty shootout. We won the penalty shootout before. We've entered another competition, and it is a competition. It might be a friendly competition, and it may just be a warm-up for something, a bigger competition, but it's still a competition. And what have we done? We've come top in the summer in the Florida Cup. We can only compete with what we're competing with. So we came top in the summer. We came top of our Europa League group. We are top of the Premier League, and now we've gone into the Dubai Classic Cup, or whatever we're going to call it, and it is a cup. We can call it whatever we want. It's a friendly competition, and we've won that. So what we've shown is that when we enter competitions, we win them. So we've got a winning mentality.
And it's a heavily rotated side, but what's the main thing you take from the two games we played in the Dubai Cup in terms of players that have stood out for you? Ben White, Thomas Partey coming back in. What's the main takeaway?
The players that have come in have played with the same enthusiasm that I've seen for the last couple of seasons, and it's been building. And again, going back to Florida in that heat, one thing that I remember is against Orlando. Now, that team wasn't a well-renowned team. However, we went out there, it was so hot. I think you had to experience the heat. Yeah. And the team went out and competed, and it didn't matter that it was so humid, it was like 100 degrees.
Yeah, don't let the rain fool you.
No, it was so hot there. It was so hot, but they went out with that enthusiasm, and that enthusiasm they brought into the Premier League. That enthusiasm they've still got now. So we've had this break, and this break, it could go one way or the other, but what we wanted is for the same mentality to carry through. And what we've seen is that mentality. I don't know whether when we come back against West Ham that we're going to have the same results as we had beforehand. But what I can see is that Arteta's kept the players that we've had available have played with the enthusiasm. They might not be first string, all of them, but they're playing with that enthusiasm, and that's what I've taken from this tournament.
And we've got one friendly left before the Premier League commences. Not necessarily straight away. There's about 8-9 day gap between Juventus this Saturday and the West Ham game on Boxing Day. But a couple more international teams have exited the World Cup. We should have Saka back soon, Martinelli back soon enough. Xhaka hasn't featured yet. What do you expect to see this Saturday against Juve? A more implementation of the first team players, or do you think giving them the week off is more beneficial to us moving forward?
I don't want to see them have time off. I want to see them be focused on one thing, and that's Arsenal. So I want to see them come back as quickly as they can come back. All right, Xhaka, for me, I always thought he had a great mentality. I never questioned his effort. I just questioned his application. But now what he's got is both. And one of the statements he came out with, he's not one of these players that just says things for the sake of saying things. He uses the words, but his actions back up his words. And when he says, I just want to get straight back to it, we know from the history of the guy, that's exactly what he means. And I want the other players, and I'm pretty certain they will do, to have that same focus. Yes, give them a couple of days off. They don't need a week off. They haven't played more football than they would have played for their clubs. True. They've trained. They should be able to have a few days off, like anyone else in a normal job, come back with the same focus, because the goal that they're going for is the most important goal anyone could go for, and that's the Premier League trophy.
And January is round the corner. We've been heavily linked to two players in particular, more so Mudryk. In recent days, Felix, considering the injury to Jesus. One name, Felix or Mudryk, Julian?
I don't know enough about either one to be able to pick the one player that I'd want out of those two. From what I know about them, they're both quality players. For me, what's more important is two aspects. Number one, the mentality. Does that mentality fit in to the team that we've got? Because I'm pretty certain from what I know about them that their experiences and their quality will fit. So does the mentality fit? And number two, which is key because we live in the real world, it's a commercial world, is what commercial deal can we have? If one's going to cost 100 odd million and one's going to cost 50 million, then I'd go for the 50 million one.
Okay, you didn't give me a name, so I'm going to narrow this question down a bit more. Do you want an attacker from the left-hand side cutting in, or do you want someone that can slot into that number 9 position, albeit a false 9? Which position do you focus on more in January?
Okay, because of the situation we find ourselves in, I'd rather put Martinelli, have the option of Martinelli in the middle, so I'd have the left-hand guy.
We got there in the end. Mudryk.
Mudryk. So that's what I said last time.
Nice one, Julian. Thank you.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.